Hello, this is MMA Totoro. This is Fight Night, Taira versus Alex Perez. I'm going to go through these predictions here in a moment. Incrown will now be fighting on next week's Fight Night card, main eventing against Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker. Hamzat is out. He is fatally ill. Hope he's well. This isn't his first time, second time, or third. So hopefully they get a diagnosis and can help my man get figured out. Shout out to Bobby for even taking the fight. Incrown doesn't offer shit. He doesn't have ranking. He doesn't offer anything. And, that's not what he trained for at the end of the day. So this happens way too often. Fights are always being fucking flip-flop canceled, especially if Hamzat's lined up to be any part of that. So believe it or not, on this card, I do predict there to be a decent amount of submissions and knockouts. A couple lower weight classes, which I'm generally not the biggest fan of, without at least throwing double method. But hear me out. Like a parlay this week might look something like Tassaro by submission or knockout. I'll double method him for a knockout too. But then when I start to look at my submissions, I'm looking at Ellenbeckhoff. I'm looking at Asu, who's fighting Skeletor fucking Johnson, 6 foot, trying to make 125 pounds. He's just going to get slammed to the ground and choked. I'm sorry. And I actually like my dogs this week. I mean, no Izzy, but, there's going to be fighters that if they're going to lose, they're going to lose trying to get the knockout. And if they lose, they're trying to fish for the submission because their opponents are also more times than not finishers too. So simple MMA math says that distance is going to be more than likely under. And yeah, last week was a doozy. Sad to see the main event in that way. Of course, yeah, I wish Canor could have kept that second round advantage that he had going into that fight and picked apart Imanoff. But hey, respect where it's due. Imanoff came back, hit him with a couple clean shots that really just rocked him. Tried to get his equilibrium back and didn't get to go that far because it was stopped prematurely. But I'm upset for Canor being this veteran in his career. He doesn't have a lot of extra time on the ticker to climb the ranks again and again and so forth. So hate to see it. I wish it could have been 2-2 going into the fifth. And, I think, this is just a good example I wanted to point out. Ray is at plus 500. You take something like that. Because at 205 pounds, it'd be like that sometimes. Speaking of fights within the distance, fights ending by knockout, check this one out. That's your new main event for UFC 303, Poatan versus Yuri. Which, speaking of finishers on that same card, we got Diego Lopez and Bryan City. What a banger fight to be thrown in as well. You already know Diego's going to be a future champ. Let's go. Let's get it.